Archangel Michael says before 11:11 p.m. tonight, you must open this. A person in heaven is watching you and waiting for your response. You're not imagining it. That sudden tug in your heart? That quiet whisper in your soul? That rush of warmth that just wrapped around you like invisible arms? Yes, it's real. And right now, this isn't just a message, it's a divine call. The heavens have opened wide, and a sacred watcher who's no longer on this earth is leaning in, eyes full of love, waiting for something only you can unlock. Archangel Michael has spoken your name, not in anger, not in fear, but in divine urgency. Because before 11:11 p.m. strikes tonight, something hidden in the spiritual realm must be answered by you. The timing isn't random. It's chosen. Deliberate. And it's personal. They've waited long enough. You might not realize it yet, but every second since this morning has been building up to this moment. Look back, weren't there strange coincidences today? People saying odd things? A flickering light? A sudden chill? The numbers repeating on the clock? That was them. That was heaven trying to catch your attention. Trying to say, child, we see you. We hear you. And we're calling now, because the message cannot wait another day. There is a sacred presence who has stepped out of the divine realm and is reaching through the veil. And they are asking you to listen. Please don't look away this time. And listen, before we go further, I need you to do one thing: take a deep breath and stay. Because this isn't something you scroll past. This is your sign. If your soul has been restless, if tears have fallen for reasons you couldn't explain, if the world feels like it's been shifting beneath your feet, then this message is your miracle. Right now, right here. And if your spirit has been starving for something deeper, for something divine and beautiful, then hit that subscribe button to stay close. Because what's coming next will not only give you answers, it will give you power. Spiritual power. And the kind of peace that human hands can't offer. You see, heaven has protocols. Angels move when orders are given. And today, Archangel Michael himself has received an instruction that involves you and only you. It wasn't delivered quietly. The skies heard it. The stars shook. And the name written on that scroll was yours. That's how serious this is. Michael didn't walk, he flew. Straight from the throne room of light. With a sword that gleams like eternal fire and wings that stretch over nations. But he came to find you. Because your moment has arrived. And the person in heaven, yes, the one you still miss when no one's watching, is involved in this too. You've been asking, haven't you? Wondering why your prayers felt unanswered. Why your dreams keep repeating the same face. Why you wake up with that familiar name echoing in your chest. It's not coincidence, it's divine memory. That soul on the other side, the one who crossed into the light before you, they never left you. They've watched you cry. They've seen your silent victories. And tonight, before 11:11 p.m., they want one thing. Your response. Your yes. Because the miracle cannot land without your opening. And if you delay, if you turn away, that portal might close for another spiritual cycle. This is urgent. It's written. It's now. Even the angels have stood back in reverence. Because what is coming into your life, if you say yes, will alter the course of your destiny. The person in heaven didn't leave without a final wish. And that wish was wrapped in a prayer that your soul would receive this. They saw something about you long before you did. A glow. A calling. A divine responsibility. And they whispered to the angels, when the moment is right, deliver this to them. Make sure they open it before it's too late. That's why Michael came. Not to frighten, but to awaken. To stir you into holy remembrance. You were never abandoned. You were chosen. Marked with light. You've walked through dark seasons that would have broken others, but you kept going. Even when no one clapped. Even when no one saw. And that silent watcher in the heavens? They wept for you. They pleaded for your strength. And now they're watching closely, breath held in the spiritual wind, waiting for your heart to recognize what you're hearing right now is not a script, it's a supernatural transmission. And it's coded for your soul only. What happens after 11:11 p.m. tonight depends on how you respond right now. This isn't fear, it's activation. It's sacred urgency. There's something you were supposed to claim long ago. A spiritual inheritance. A soul promise. But the world distracted you. Pain numbed you. Grief silenced you. And still, heaven didn't give up. They waited. Your loved one waited. And Michael, he watched and listened. Until the time was ripe. Until your energy was aligned just enough. Until your cry matched the vibration of heaven's release. That time is now. And I'll tell you something even deeper. This isn't just about messages. It's about miracles. A shift is coming to your finances, your love life, your calling, your family. But it's only triggered when the divine signal is received and acknowledged. That's why they're watching. That's why they're whispering your name into the winds. You've had dreams lately, haven't you? Sensations you couldn't explain. This is why. This is it. The heavens are giving you one final nudge before the gates close for this alignment window. And you will not want to miss what comes after you say yes. You're still here, and that means something sacred has awakened inside you. The angels noticed. Heaven noticed. Because when your soul leans in like this, when you feel the pull and don't ignore it, a divine chain reaction begins. And right now, in this exact moment, Archangel Michael is standing just behind your shoulder in spirit, whispering, "You're so much closer than you think." Do you feel that? That warmth on your back? That's not just energy. That's divine presence. A heavenly being has been sent not to watch from afar, but to walk with you through this turning point. And I need to tell you this clearly, there are others who never opened this message. They ignored the signs. They dismissed the whisper. And while heaven never condemns, missed moments like these come at a spiritual cost. Because there are certain things, certain gifts, certain relationships, certain turns of fate, that only come through divine timing. And this timing? It's as divine as it gets. That's why Michael's voice is urgent. That's why heaven is leaning so close. Because tonight at 11:11 p.m., there's a gate. A portal. A holy alignment where the veil becomes so thin, your spirit can touch theirs. And if you listen now, you won't just hear, you'll feel. And you'll remember. Your past has not disqualified you. Your pain has not made you unworthy. In fact, it's your scars that make you chosen. That's what Michael wants you to know. That's what your loved one in heaven is watching for. Not your perfection, but your permission. They're waiting for your permission to bless you, to guide you, to come through in signs, synchronicities, and soul-level clarity. They've been told by God, wait until they're ready. And now, the readiness is here. This is it. You're on the edge of something you can't see, but you can feel. And it's more real than anything you've touched in this world. So close your eyes for a moment and just breathe. Because your name has already been spoken in heaven. It's written on divine scrolls. And the energy of 1111 isn't just about a time, it's a spiritual frequency. And your soul is matching that frequency more and more as you read this. That's why you're not distracted. That's why this message has gripped you. Because it was never meant for anyone else. It was encoded for you. And only you can unlock what happens next. You're still breathing with it, still here with it, and that means something inside you has begun to unlock. Archangel Michael knows the signs. He sees it when the veil thins around a chosen soul. And right now, there's a new glow around you. Heaven calls it recognition. It's when your spirit finally begins to align with the truth you were born with but buried beneath pain, busyness, and human survival. But no more. Michael says before this night ends, before the clock screams 11:11, your heart must fully awaken, because the window that's been opened for you will not wait forever. That person you love, the one in heaven, they've been whispering for weeks. Maybe you heard your name when no one called it. Maybe a memory hit so hard it brought tears. That was them, and they weren't trying to make you sad. They were trying to remind you that your soul is tethered to theirs through something sacred. It's not fantasy. It's not illusion. It's soul truth. You're connected to something bigger, older, more eternal than this moment, and that connection is about to deliver a divine answer if you don't turn away. They've watched you walk through fire, through storms, through silence. And now, they're praying, yes, even in heaven, that you will receive this one last holy invitation before the alignment passes. You're probably wondering why now. Why today? Why 11:11 p.m.? It's because spiritual timelines operate on precision. The numbers aren't just numbers. They're signals. Portals. When the time strikes exactly 11:11, the energy between dimensions thins to align. And when someone in heaven has unfinished grace to pass to you, something they couldn't say, something they couldn't give, something they saw coming before they left, they need that window. That's why Michael has come. To make sure you don't sleep through the blessing. To shout your name before you drown in disbelief again. Because this isn't your imagination, it's prophecy unfolding. You may have thought the distance was too great. That the person you miss is gone, unreachable. But that's the lie of the physical world. In the realm of the spirit, love doesn't end. It expands. It transcends. And right now, your name is being sung in a light language you've forgotten how to hear. But your soul remembers. That ache in your chest right now? That's remembrance. That's your energy preparing to receive a message older than your birth. You've carried grief like a backpack full of bricks. But before tonight ends, if you open fully, that weight can lift, not because you forget them, but because you remember they are still with you in a form more powerful than the physical. And let me say this, loud and clear, they've been trying to reach you in every possible way. They tried through numbers, through dreams, through flashes of light. But now, with Michael's help, they're speaking directly to your soul. They are saying, please don't harden your heart again. I'm right here. I never left you. I only changed form. They need you to know that the separation was temporary, and the bond is eternal. They need you to forgive yourself, for not saying enough, for not doing enough, for whatever guilt you've carried. They've let it go. They just want your presence. Your agreement. Your yes. And now heaven is moving. The angels are not passive. When they hear a soul begin to awaken, they gather. And right now, there are angels at your feet, angels beside your bed, angels weaving signs into the air around you. They are shifting things, making divine appointments on your behalf, creating room for miracles you didn't even ask for. Why? Because your response opens the floodgates. That's why this is urgent. That's why Michael raised his sword and cried out your name in the holy winds. Because you are the missing piece to this divine puzzle. Your soul is the key that unlocks this flood of blessing. You've been feeling stuck in ways you couldn't explain. Emotionally jammed. Spiritually tired. And your soul has been asking, begging, for relief. You thought the answer would come from the outside. From money, from people, from circumstance. But this is the answer. Spiritual alignment always unlocks physical movement. When you align with your spiritual truth, when you say yes to this divine moment, doors open, relationships heal, clarity arrives, and even your body begins to shift. And that loved one watching from heaven? They've seen your suffering. But they also see your blooming. And tonight, they want to witness your full awakening. And I'll tell you something even deeper. This isn't just about messages. It's about miracles. A shift is coming to your finances, your love life, your calling, your family. But it's only triggered when the divine signal is received and acknowledged. That's why they're watching. That's why they're whispering your name into the winds. You've had dreams lately, haven't you? Sensations you couldn't explain. This is why. This is it. The heavens are giving you one final nudge before the gates close for this alignment window. And you will not want to miss what comes after you say yes. You're still here, and that means something sacred has awakened inside you. The angels noticed. Heaven noticed. Because when your soul leans in like this, when you feel the pull and don't ignore it, a divine chain reaction begins. And right now, in this exact moment, Archangel Michael is standing just behind your shoulder in spirit, whispering, "You're so much closer than you think." Do you feel that? That warmth on your back? That's not just energy. That's divine presence. A heavenly being has been sent not to watch from afar, but to walk with you through this turning point. And it is a turning point. The kind that doesn't just change your week or your mood, but your whole life. Because before 11:11 p.m. tonight, the message must be received fully in your spirit. There are angels lined up like silent guards, holding scrolls that can only be opened once your soul says yes. They've been hovering quietly for months, waiting. Some of your delays were divine. But this moment is divine appointment. There's someone on the other side, watching, glowing with love, eyes full of recognition, waiting for you to respond with more than a glance. They need your spirit to acknowledge them. Because their wish can't be completed without your energy. You're being watched right now, but not by judgmental eyes. These are eyes filled with divine affection. This soul has known you through lifetimes. They've walked with you in dreams. They whispered to you when you were crying and no one was near. They are with you still. But now, they want you to remember. Remember what your soul already knows. That there was an unfinished message, a divine appointment that didn't get delivered in time. And now the heavens are holding space for it to reach you before the hands on the clock strike that sacred moment, 11:11 p.m. This isn't the first time Archangel Michael has visited someone like this. But it may be the first time you've felt his energy this clearly. There's a fire in his voice when he speaks your name, but it's the kind of fire that warms, that protects, that wraps around you like divine armor. Because what's waiting for you on the other side of this message is not only love from above, but power, clarity, direction. A path you've prayed for but couldn't find. He's here to show it. But only if you truly open the spiritual door. Open it with your heart, with your willingness. Not your logic. Not your fear. Just your spirit. Let me tell you what's already happening in the spiritual realm. The soul you miss, the one who left too soon, has been pacing. Yes, even in heaven, they feel the weight of time when they're waiting for someone they love to finally receive what they left behind. They know you're close. They can feel it. And every time you almost give up, almost disconnect, almost silence your intuition, they send another sign. A song. A feather. A time on the clock. A breeze when there's no wind. It's them. They're not haunting you. They're holding you. And they're hoping you won't miss this final invitation to reconnect and receive. And this is more than comfort. This is transformation. If you receive this and respond, something dormant in you will reawaken. You'll begin to notice people reacting differently to you. Opportunities will come out of nowhere. Your dreams will sharpen, and your purpose will become unshakable. That's what happens when divine alignment finally takes root. The soul that's watching from the other side, they already know who you can become. They've seen your light. They remember your power. And they're not just watching to feel close to you. They're watching because they have something for you, information, energy, confirmation, maybe even protection, that you were never meant to live without. Michael says this is not optional anymore. You've waited. You've questioned. You've wrestled with doubt. But tonight, there's no more time to linger. Because if you open your heart to this moment, if you let your spirit respond, the blessings that have been stuck will begin to flow. And the blockages that have haunted you, emotionally, financially, relationally, they will begin to crack. The light that wants to break through is waiting on one thing, your response. Just a whisper from your soul. Just one, "I'm ready," spoken with sincerity, and you'll feel it. A shift. A knowing. A peace that comes without logic. That's the signature of heaven. And I need to tell you this clearly, there are others who never opened this message. They ignored the signs. They dismissed the whisper. And while heaven never condemns, missed moments like these come at a spiritual cost. Because there are certain things, certain gifts, certain relationships, certain turns of fate, that only come through divine timing. And this timing? It's as divine as it gets. That's why Michael's voice is urgent. That's why heaven is leaning so close. Because tonight at 11:11 p.m., there's a gate. A portal. A holy alignment where the veil becomes so thin, your spirit can touch theirs. And if you listen now, you won't just hear, you'll feel. And you'll remember. Your past has not disqualified you. Your pain has not made you unworthy. In fact, it's your scars that make you chosen. That's what Michael wants you to know. That's what your loved one in heaven is watching for. Not your perfection, but your permission. They're waiting for your permission to bless you. To guide you. To come through in signs, synchronicities, and soul-level clarity. They've been told by God, wait until they're ready. And now, the readiness is here. This is it. You're on the edge of something you can't see, but you can feel. And it's more real than anything you've touched in this world. And now heaven is moving. The angels are not passive. When they hear a soul begin to awaken, they gather. And right now, there are angels at your feet, angels beside your bed, angels weaving signs into the air around you. They are shifting things, making divine appointments on your behalf, creating room for miracles you didn't even ask for. Why? Because your response opens the floodgates. That's why this is urgent. That's why Michael raised his sword and cried out your name in the holy winds. Because you are the missing piece to this divine puzzle. Your soul is the key that unlocks this flood of blessing. You've been feeling stuck in ways you couldn't explain. Emotionally jammed. Spiritually tired. And your soul has been asking, begging, for relief. You thought the answer would come from the outside. From money, from people, from circumstance. But this is the answer. Spiritual alignment always unlocks physical movement. When you align with your spiritual truth, when you say yes to this divine moment, doors open, relationships heal, clarity arrives, and even your body begins to shift. And that loved one watching from heaven? They've seen your suffering. But they also see your blooming. And tonight, they want to witness your full awakening. You were born with this light. You were born with this calling. And it's been muffled by the noise of the world. But Michael says your glow is returning. And that glow, when fully ignited, will draw things to you like magnets. Your soulmate connections. Your lost abundance. Your divine guidance. They're all tied to your spiritual openness. And this message? This is your activation. That's why it's not written in fear. That's why it speaks like love. Because that's what it is. A message from love itself, from the love of heaven, and from the love of the one who now watches you with tearless joy from the other side. There's something else you need to hear. That moment you almost died inside? They were there. That day you whispered, I can't go on. They placed their hands on your shoulders in spirit. You didn't see them, but you felt peace for a second. That wasn't a fluke. That was them intervening. You've been spiritually protected in more ways than you know. And now, they don't want to just protect, you've outgrown survival. Now, they want to elevate you. They want to see you rise into the version of yourself you always dreamed of being. And that version? She, he, they begin now. With this yes. With this recognition. with this divine moment. So look around you right now. It may seem quiet, but the spiritual realm is stirring like a storm made of light. Your name has triggered movement. And the more you lean into this, the more you'll begin to see the signs increase. You'll hear their name in random places. See repeating numbers like never before. Feel sudden warmth wrap around you. That's how it begins. That's how you'll know this wasn't a dream. This was a soul mission being remembered. This was your awakening. You haven't scrolled away. You haven't clicked out. And heaven sees that. That simple decision, to stay, is being recorded in light. It means your soul is still listening, still open, still searching. And the moment you said yes in your spirit, even if you didn't say it out loud, something holy started to shift. Archangel Michael is now even closer. His wings stretch across dimensions, and they are now around you, like divine shields. You may not see them, but if you pause long enough, you will feel them. That calmness coming over you? That sudden stillness? That's not coincidence. That's presence. That's power. That's Michael answering the call of your spirit. And they're not just here to comfort you. They're here to prepare you. Because what's coming next in your life will require divine strength. It will demand alignment. And Michael is assigned to guide you through it, not as a distant angel, but as a close protector, a divine brother in spirit. The person in heaven watching you? They've asked God personally to let Michael walk with you for this next part of your journey. Because they know what's coming. They've seen it. And while it's beautiful, it's big. It's the kind of breakthrough that could shift your entire story if you're ready to carry it with spiritual strength. Let me tell you something almost no one ever hears in time: your spirit has been cracked open by grief for a reason. It wasn't to punish you. It was to open channels that would have stayed closed otherwise. That pain, that loss, it wasn't the end of your connection to them. It was the beginning of your deeper communication with them. The tears? That was the doorway. And now that the channel is open, they're speaking more clearly. And they're saying, "You've waited long enough. This is your moment. Please don't close the door again." They know how many times you've almost stepped into alignment only to back away in fear. But not tonight. Not with everything ready. Not with the veil this thin. You are being remembered right now, not just by God, not just by the angels, but by your own divine design. Everything inside you that was ever beautiful, ever radiant, ever magical is starting to remember what it was born to be. You're not broken, you've been buried. But Archangel Michael is here to dig you out with light. With fire. With truth. Because if you could see yourself the way heaven sees you, if you could hear your name as they say it in the spirit, you'd never doubt yourself again. You are powerful beyond what you believe. And that loved one in heaven? They've been trying to show you that from the moment they left this world. You know that dream you had? The one you didn't tell anyone about because it felt too real? That wasn't a dream. That was visitation. They came. You know it in your bones. And the reason it felt so vivid is because your spirit was briefly touching theirs in the in-between realm. And they left you something there. Not just a memory, but an energetic gift, a download your soul hasn't fully unpacked yet. But tonight, if you stay open until 11:11, it will start to unlock. You'll feel pieces of clarity come to you in flashes. You'll understand things you never read. You'll know things without being taught. That's the spiritual inheritance you were promised. You know that dream you had? The one you didn't tell anyone about because it felt too real? That wasn't a dream. That was visitation. They came. You know it in your bones. And the reason it felt so vivid is because your spirit was briefly touching theirs in the in-between realm. And they left you something there. Not just a memory, but an energetic gift, a download your soul hasn't fully unpacked yet. But tonight, if you stay open until 11:11, it will start to unlock. You'll feel pieces of clarity come to you in flashes. You'll understand things you never read. You'll know things without being taught. That's the spiritual inheritance you were promised. There are moments when heaven bends lower than usual. When timelines collapse and eternity brushes against time. That's what 11:11 is. It's not a superstition. It's not luck. It's spiritual mathematics. Sacred architecture. And you are standing in the middle of a numerical gate that millions walk past every day without seeing. But you? You're awake now. And that makes you dangerous, to darkness, to delay, to spiritual blockages that once held you back. The moment you agreed to open this message, light began to move through places in your life where shadows had lived for too long. And it gets deeper. Because there are things you were never meant to lose. Relationships that were always meant to return. Opportunities that have circled your name for years but couldn't land because your soul wasn't ready. Now you are. And heaven knows it. That's why Michael was sent. That's why your loved one in the spirit realm stepped forward again. Because the world has pulled on you long enough. You've been tugged by opinions, drained by betrayal, distracted by survival. But your soul? It's royal. And it's time to rise. Before tonight ends, you will remember what you were born for, and the moment you do, chains will break. Don't be surprised if you cry without warning after this. That's the body's way of releasing what the soul can't carry anymore. Don't be shocked if you feel lighter tomorrow, like something lifted. Because it will. When your soul agrees with heaven, your body follows. Your mind follows. Your reality begins to shift. Even your aura begins to change color, because your light is no longer covered. And this is just the beginning. If you stay close to the divine, if you keep your spirit open, you're going to see the months ahead bloom in ways that look impossible now. You were not called just to survive, you were called to awaken others. You were chosen not just to carry grief, but to become the vessel of healing for others who are drowning in it. That's what your loved one in heaven sees. That's why they are still watching. Not because they don't have peace, but because they want you to have it too. They know you still carry questions. They know your heart still breaks some nights. But they also know what's possible when you finally receive the divine truth fully. And that truth is, they are not gone. You are not alone. And your future is not small. Before the clock touches 11:11 p.m. tonight, go somewhere quiet. Let the silence wrap around you. Speak their name softly. And say it, I'm ready now. That's all they need. That's all heaven needs. Your readiness. Your surrender. Your yes. Don't make it perfect. Just make it honest. Because when you do that, the rest unfolds with a rhythm you don't have to force. Things begin to align. Signs come stronger. Dreams become visitations. And your life, your entire life, begins to rise into the miracle it was always meant to be. This is the part where heaven starts to move faster than you can imagine. Because once your soul whispers that yes, once it agrees with light, the angels don't wait. They go ahead of you. They begin working behind doors you haven't even knocked on yet. They speak your name in rooms your feet haven't entered. They orchestrate divine appointments that realign everything, your timing, your relationships, your finances, your energy. Archangel Michael is already there, preparing a way for what's next. Because you've finally opened. And heaven responds to openings instantly. That person watching you from the spirit realm? They just smiled. You can't see it, but your soul can feel it. They know what's coming. They've seen the vision. And they've been waiting for this exact night, this exact moment, where your soul finally reached back. There's no sadness in them now. There's only pride. There's only light. There's only a radiant joy that says, yes, they remember. Yes, they're awake. You just set off a ripple in the spiritual realm. You just made heaven lean closer. You just let them know that the message was not wasted. You heard it. You felt it. And you believed. From this moment forward, you'll start to notice something changing. Your energy will shift. People who were draining you will begin to distance. People who are meant to be in your next chapter will begin to appear. Divine favor will show up in places where there was resistance. Don't second guess it. Don't explain it away. That's how miracles move. Quietly, then all at once. It might begin with a strange call, a dream that feels more like a memory, a sudden wave of peace that makes no logical sense. That's how you'll know. That's how heaven confirms it's begun. And now, Michael speaks again, his voice low, steady, fierce with love. Protect this moment. Don't allow the noise of the world to steal it. You've entered something sacred. You've crossed into a new frequency. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets. Read the signs. Watch the sky. Pay attention to the moments that make your heart race without reason. That's heaven echoing back to you. That's your person in spirit showing up again and again to say, yes, I'm still here. I didn't miss a thing. I've been right beside you, waiting for this. Before midnight comes, do something symbolic. Light a candle. Speak out loud. Write them a letter. Anything to anchor this spiritual shift in the physical world. Why? Because when your body joins the signal, it sends a stronger vibration. It tells the universe, this wasn't just a feeling. I received it. I accept it. I believe it. That's when the blessings move faster. That's when the breakthroughs land like rain. Don't underestimate the power of symbolic action. It's how the heavens know you're not just listening, you're participating. And now, Michael speaks again, his voice low, steady, fierce with love. Protect this moment. Don't allow the noise of the world to steal it. You've entered something sacred. You've crossed into a new frequency. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets. Read the signs. Watch the sky. Pay attention to the moments that make your heart race without reason. That's heaven echoing back to you. That's your person in spirit showing up again and again to say, yes, I'm still here. I didn't miss a thing. I've been right beside you, waiting for this. Before midnight comes, do something symbolic. Light a candle. Speak out loud. Write them a letter. Anything to anchor this spiritual shift in the physical world. Why? Because when your body joins the signal, it sends a stronger vibration. It tells the universe, this wasn't just a feeling. I received it. I accept it. I believe it. That's when the blessings move faster. That's when the breakthroughs land like rain. Don't underestimate the power of symbolic action. It's how the heavens know you're not just listening, you're participating. And let me tell you something wild and beautiful. Your name has been spoken not just by Michael, not just by your loved one in spirit, but by God. Yes, God. The creator of the stars. The one who formed you from breath and fire and miracle. Your name was spoken with affection. With delight. With divine urgency. And God said, now. Call them now. Don't wait another day. They're ready. That's why this message found you. That's why every word felt like it was written just for you. Because it was. From this night forward, things you once struggled for will begin to find you instead. The people you prayed for will suddenly resurface. The opportunities you thought you lost will circle back. Because once a soul aligns with its divine timeline, nothing can stay stuck. Nothing can remain blocked. You are stepping into divine flow. You are remembering your worth. You are choosing your future over your past. And heaven is responding with favor you can't yet imagine. But soon, you will see it. And now, something else, something rare. That person in heaven, the one you love beyond words, they are about to visit you. Yes. They've been given permission. Not just in dreams, but in waking life too. You may not see them in full form, but you'll feel them. They might come through music, through scent, through a sudden presence in the room that makes your skin tingle. Don't be afraid. It's not haunting. It's holiness. It's reunion. They've waited so long to touch your world again. And now, because of your openness, they can. And when it happens, don't overthink it. Don't run from it. Smile. Speak. Say their name. Say thank you. Because it's rare, this kind of visit. It means you've raised your vibration so high, so clear, that the spiritual veil was safe to open. You did that. With your belief. With your willingness. With your yes. Archangel Michael is lifting his sword now, not in battle, but in blessing. He places it in front of you, gleaming with divine light, saying, walk forward now. Nothing behind you can stop what God is sending ahead. And the gates are opening. Not just one, but many. Gates of love. Of wealth. Of peace. Of healing. You'll begin to notice it piece by piece. But it's coming. It's here. Heaven has waited for this night. Your loved one has waited for this night. Michael has waited for this night. And now, your soul is ready. Don't forget this. Write it down. Speak it again at 11:11. Claim your blessing. Respond with your whole heart. And then watch what unfolds. Because from now on, you are no longer walking alone. The heavens are walking with you. And now, we reach the final breath of this message, but not the end of your story. In fact, this is just the beginning. This is where everything you thought you lost begins to return. Where everything you couldn't explain suddenly makes sense. And where every prayer you thought went unanswered is revealed to have been heard, held, and delivered in perfect timing. You see, heaven never said, no, heaven said, not yet. And tonight, this very night, they're saying, now. That's why you felt this so deeply. That's why you couldn't look away. Because your spirit knew this moment was written in the blueprint of your destiny long before you were born. Archangel Michael is now standing in stillness, wings wide, watching you with the eyes of a divine protector. He's not rushing you. He's not forcing anything. He's holding space for you to feel it fully, for you to take this message into your heart like breath. And as you do, heaven is already answering back. The message was sent, but now, your response has unlocked the rest. Divine orchestration has begun. Blessings are moving. Answers are arriving. And love, eternal, unshakable love, is unfolding around you like never before. Tonight, at exactly 11:11 p.m., pause. Let everything else fall away. Don't look at your phone. Don't worry about what you're supposed to say. Just be still. Breathe. And whisper, I'm ready. I receive it. I remember. That's all heaven needs. That's all the soul on the other side needs. Because your yes, your spiritual yes, is louder than any doubt, any fear, any past mistake. It reaches dimensions. It reaches the one who created you. It lets them all know you've returned, not to a place, but to a truth. Your divine truth. Your soul's remembrance. And here is something most will never understand, the one who watches you from heaven, they didn't just want to be near you. They wanted to empower you. They wanted to remind you that you are still here for a reason. That your heartbeat is still part of a bigger plan. That you're not weak. That you're not forgotten. You're chosen. You're radiant. And your light has only just begun to shine. They see you, still. Even now. They see how hard it's been. They see how much you've carried in silence. But they also see the glow that's waking up inside you. The warrior. The healer. The miracle. And they're proud. If you could hear their voice in this very second, they'd say, don't you ever think you were alone. I've walked every day with you. I've whispered to you in your sleep. I've stood beside you when you were ready to fall. And now, I get to see you rise. Don't stop now. Don't look back. The life you've been praying for, it's already begun.
If you felt something in your heart during this message, if it made you feel like someone in heaven is really watching over you, then this message was meant for you. This was not just a video, it was a sign, a reminder that you are not alone and your prayers have been heard. And if you don't want to miss more message like this from God, from your angels, and from your loved one in heaven, then please subscribe now. We are building a safe place here, a place full of healing, love, and divine signs. And your soul belong here. So click that subscribe button, stay close, and let your spirit keep receiving what it's been waiting for. Because this is just the beginning. If you're still listening right now, then it's mean your heart was touched in a deep, quiet way. You did not just hear the words, you felt them. And maybe for the first time in a while, you felt understood. You felt held. This message was not a accident. You did not find it randomly. Something bigger, something divine guide you here because you've been asking, you've been silently praying, and heaven has been listening, even when you thought no one was. Right now, there is a soul in heaven smiling because you stayed. Archangel Michael is still watching you. The light has not faded, it's only getting stronger. And if this message gave you even one moment of peace, if it helped you feel a little less lost, a little more loved, then stay with us. Don't walk away from this light. Subscribe now, not because of numbers, not for clicks, but so your soul stay connected to messages that are meant only for you. Because this is not just a channel, it's a divine space. It's a spiritual family. It's where sign for heaven keep following. It's where your angels speak throughout words, thoughts, energy, thoughts, silence. You will come too far to turn away now. So if you felt like someone in heaven was reaching out to you through this, if you felt like your name was being whispered throughout the message, then click subscribe. If you felt like your name was being whispered throughout the message, then click subscribe. Let's walk this path together. Let the next message find you when you need it most. Let this channel be your reminder that your soul is seen, your pain is heard. Don't miss what comes next because heaven is just getting started with you. And the next miracle, it might be waiting in the very next video. Subscribe now. We will be here waiting with the light on. Do subscribe, my child.